Welcome to the Farmers Branch Chamber Chat Post-Winter Storm Edition. Today we have Mike Langley, CFO of Arpin America Moving Systems with us. How are you today, Mike?
I'm doing good, Grace. How are you doing, dear?
Awesome. Much happier for the warmer weather. How about you?
Yes. Last week was a very interesting week, to say the least.
Yeah, you mentioned you actually enjoyed roughing it
I thought it reminded me what it was like to be human again. I did. It was I found it quite an interesting week. Now, it was challenging. I mean, our electricity went out for 4 days. I know a lot of people out there experienced the same stuff. We did manage to keep our water the whole time, but not having electricity, it definitely reminds you of the gifts we have as Americans in our lives. You always miss what you don't have. So it was very
Yeah, it will definitely humble you and test your survival skills.
Yes.
For sure. Well, awesome. Well, let's just dive right in. I don't think, as I've been out and about mentioning you around the community, a lot of people don't know that there's this nice little moving company right in our backyard of Farmers Branch. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Arpin Moving Systems?
Arpin America Moving Systems. We're located in Farmers Branch off Diplomat. It's if you go to it's right off 35. So if anybody needs directions, of course they can email me. But we've been in business since 2000. We currently have around I would say about 56 employees and probably another 35 contractors. We have 3 locations. One's in New Jersey, one in Houston, and we have, of course, our Farmers Branch office. And we basically are a van line, and we have the capabilities of moving anybody locally, or if there's a family or a corporation that's going to move to another state, we're the kind of people that you would hire. We have everything from pack vans all the way up to 18 wheelers, that go over the road and from state to state. And we also have access to about 450. I don't have the exact count right now, but we have access to about 450 warehouses nationwide, which enables us to stage, people moving, basically localize it, getting it to the local warehouse, and then we can move it from the warehouse to their home if they have a lot of stuff moving across country.
Awesome. So you do both commercial and residential?
Yes, ma'am. And we do a lot of local work, but like I said, we also have the van line to do nationwide if we need to. We got a lot of people moving from California, New York to Texas. We're going to have to welcome them with open arms.
Is that where this weather came from? Did we get the New Yorks?
Absolutely. It could be, for sure. But it's beautiful today.
It is. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to brag about you, for a minute. To our members and whoever's listening, the way that we actually met Mike was one of our nonprofit Baskets for Good, who is a member of the chamber, needed food transported for our Thanksgiving basket delivery from Frisco down to downtown Dallas. Mm-hmm. And we were in a pinch and didn't know how we were going to move 11 pallets of food, except, maybe renting our own U-Haul. And doing just 2-3 pallets at a time, whatever we could manage. And so we just popped in and we're like, hey, Mike, nice to meet you. Could we ask a favor? And man, you were just great. I think it was within 20 or 30 minutes, you had everything ready to go for us. And so.
Grace, we were honored to help the kids of DFW, and we would like to do more of that, So if there's anybody out there that we can help, we absolutely are ready to go. Please.
And I think, it's just an example of, number one, what a great way to just be part of the community and to generously give your gift. But number two, who knows, who else might, right, to think outside of the box. Okay, I might not be moving my business or my home right now, but I do need to move X, Y, or Z. Perhaps, you guys are a good contact for the off chance. We need 11 pallets of food moved or whatever that is for your organization. So I'm going to pop up a comment here from one of our listeners, Ricardo Leon. He and his wife, Jessie, are the founders of Baskets. And he said, yes, Arpin for the win. Because, again, he's the one who has been coordinating this for years, and they normally haul them one by one or little by little to downtown. And so you really made it better for us.
Appreciate that. And I would say, I think that the community business and small business in general, I think it can help the country right now. It seems like over the past 2 years that, or at least the last year, of course, everybody knows that what COVID and the pandemic did to small businesses. So I believe that helping the local community and helping small businesses could go a long way for us of getting back to what really makes America, a great country. And me and you've discussed that at length, in private. But I think it's important that we don't let the political era that we're in shake us from our core beliefs, and those core beliefs start with the foundation of your local community. And that's why we're excited to be participating with such great people with the Farmers Branch Chambers of Commerce, because we feel like y'all stand for that. And so anytime that we get an opportunity to help children, absolutely, we're all in. And any other way we can help the community, we're all in. So please, like I said, let us know if anything pops up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't think that, so many people hashtag, or right, thankfully, even Facebook, Instagram, they've added stickers and things that, say support small business. But I don't know if most people realize like how much small business is the driving engine of the American dream and really of the American workforce. I feel like I don't have the exact statistics, but most businesses, I think the SBA qualifies any organization under $50 million in annual revenue as a small business. And so, under that guideline, like most people do work for or interact with regularly the small business. So that's awesome. We have a comment here from Alex. He's your obviously neighbor up the street. He said, "We heard it first. Mike is here to help move in our community." The puns, don't cost you extra on your membership. They're free, Mike.
Another thing that me and you discuss a lot is we do talk about the American dream, and I think that that's what makes us American. And it's important that we fight and we battle to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to move in and out of their castes. I say that, you understand what I'm saying. We got to have social mobility, because sometimes it's just the ideal of the dream and it's the ideal of hope that drives a person forward and drives them out of the situation that they're in that they don't like. So as Americans, I think that's what makes us America, is the American dream. It's very important that we fight for that. And once again, that goes back to your local community.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you some questions about, what it's like being CFO and a leader of an organization over the last year. What ways have you had to adapt or be inventive, or, maybe just serve your people and the people you work with in a different way?
Well, when you get pushed into a situation like most of the people in the community did last year in 2020, you're forced almost to do things that you usually wouldn't do. Things such as push the rent off for a month, or what I'm saying. But you have to do a lot of those little things, and it adds up to the big picture of making sure you stay solvent, so you make sure your employees continue to get the hours they need to take care of their families. But as far as being in a leadership role during that time, I think those times do improve your leadership capabilities, mainly from the aspect of dealing with employees that are in situations that they're not familiar with, especially on the hourly employees, who, I don't know, I wouldn't say they just all of them live paycheck to paycheck, but if they have a drop in 40 hours off a biweekly paycheck, that's a huge drastic change in their life and their lifestyle. And so as far as being the CFO, our thought process was to make sure that we cut everything but our labor. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that they did a really good job with PPP. I think that helped a lot of small businesses nationwide. And now they have the second round, and that that allowed us the opportunity to make sure that we didn't have to take any cuts, even though, like most businesses, we had a decrease in revenue in 2020.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations. And,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely does warm my heart when an organization goes above and beyond to really take care of its people first, and understands that value that, um, everybody depends on their job, obviously, to pay their own bills and take care of their families. And so, definitely a huge thank you and props to you for making that a priority.
Thank you. You've done a great job with the chamber this year. Seems like it's on a big upswing. It's time to buy.
Thanks.
Time to buy the stock.
Get in early before prices go up, huh? um, well, we definitely, our vision is to be the best investment for your business. And so, that's really our big focus is, how do we serve and how do we bring our businesses like yourself that, again, I don't know if I would have known you existed for a while had we not been roaming around and just looking for trucks themselves and said, oh, hey, we need trucks. I wonder, let's just go knock on this door, and sometimes it's just those random chance coincidences that, it opens up a door of opportunity, not just for us as a chamber, but right for you as a business. You've already positively impacted, another one of our organizations. So, and it's only the beginning. So Alex has posted a nice little comment here. He said, you and your leadership are to be commended.
Wow. Thanks. You're so kind, Alex. I appreciate it.
And he said, that's for both of us. So tell me, just a little bit more about yourself, about leadership. What character qualities do you feel like this really rubbed in you? Where did you notice was maybe a weakness or an opportunity to really grow, humble yourself?
When your business slows down as your cash flow, everybody has to stop and they have to be able to project where their cash is going to be 90 days or 120 days down the road, and that's not always the easiest thing to do when you have so many uncertainties and so many variables. In your gut, you want to say, okay, this is going to last for the 3 weeks that they said, and then as the information started coming in, now this is almost 10 months later, 12 months, 11 months later, and we're still in the middle of it. So there was a lot of uncertainties, and that kind of slows the ability to be able to be flexible like you usually are, because you have to have constraints based on the unknown. Those unknowns definitely create qualities of being a better planner and a better in budget company or in budget person from year to year. So I think that overall, from a personal standpoint, 2020 was a great year for me. And it's not because I didn't face hardship, because to me, I accept hardship as a part of being alive and being human. But in the sense that sometimes when you get challenged or you get tested as a person or as a business leader or even a community leader or a school teacher or even as a friend, those are the times when you actually grow and you actually learn and you actually, they always say that when it seems like whenever you're putting on a bunch of weight, you're happy, you're content with the situation that you're in. And there's a lot of harm to that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we shouldn't accept the content that we live in, and we should be able to challenge ourselves without having a year like we did in 2020, and where nature or reality kind of had to slap us around a little bit to wake us up. So it was a great year for me personally, just from the things that I've learned and the way I was able to grow as a human, and to where I was able to step in and help the community because there was people that need it more than I needed, and to me that was a great blessing, and I actually humbled to be able to play a role in that. I really was.
Wow, there was a lot of wisdom packed in what you just said. Right? I don't know that, and I'm part of a personal and professional growth group, and we talk about getting out of our comfort zone, but I don't know that anybody would have willingly gone to the extreme of the last year to get out of their comfort zone. But, around these conversations, everybody, can definitely say, wow, like this, there are ways that I have been challenged and forced to grow, and ways that I wouldn't have chosen or wouldn't have known that I could. So yeah.
But it does work as a reminder that we are fallible. Not everything in the future is set in stone, and we all have our own personal stories to declare that. But I honestly believe getting out of your comfort zone is the best thing that can happen to you as a person. I don't grow personally whenever I'm extremely comfortable. That's when I get idle time, and so, like I said, in that sense, it was a great year for me. In the sense of watching people hurt or suffer, I'm not for that, and I wish I had more capabilities of helping them more. So I just try to do the best I can. I think from an individual level, that's what makes community, and it allows us to grow a community like Farmers Branch into the ideal that we envision. Mainly for our children, and we teach them the moral compass that they need, so that if they do face hardship in the future, they're able to take care of their community and stand by the morals that they built in their lifetimes.
Yeah, it reminds me, my mom used to always say this as I was a kid, but people helping people is really how we get by in this world.
It's existence. Yes, I agree. Mm-hmm.
So, what other wisdom or words of encouragement do you have for maybe the small business owner or another leader, or even somebody who's in the CFO or financial position that, looking at those budgets can be scary. Looking at even, right, we just had this disaster for some businesses who did have pipes break or things go wrong because of the winter storm. What encouragement would you have for them right now?
Well, if your business, it depends on what stage you're in as a business, of course. Startups have their fears. People who've been around, have their fears. Technology outgrowing their companies, things like that. But I would say that if I was to leave any wisdom for anybody, and they're starting to see some red in their variances from year to year, let's get through this year and see how it goes. Over time, economies grow. What I'm saying? They go through, sometimes the line ain't always a straight this. Sometimes if you look at the stock, it goes this way and this way and this way. But if you were to look at that whole line over a long, if you invest in stock, you know what I'm talking about. Well, sometimes you hit the 1 hour window, or you hit the 1 month window, or the 1 week window, and it shows you different variances of the line, right? So, I think if we look at that line over time, we're still going to see the growth. It's almost guaranteed. Without it, of course, we have something terrible and we're going into a recession. And I think that the powers, and they're afraid of recessions now, so they don't let them happen as much as they used to. But because politically it has negative equity, for them. So look at the line long term. Don't get caught up in the day-to-day stuff. Stay focused. Make sure you're growing over time, and participate in your community and help small business. I still think that that's the key to everything that we want in life. If your community's strong, that makes your nation strong, that makes your state strong, that makes your city strong. So that's always been my focus on the local community, and leaders stepping up and playing their role to keep the core values that we created for our kids.
That's awesome. Again, just so much wisdom, right, packed in there, and so succinctly, right? That's what Zig Ziglar teaches. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything you want out of life. And
that's interesting.
Huh?
He's been around for a while, hasn't
he? Yeah. So there's, right, there must be some truths to these. It's been said 1,000 different ways, but it's always the same. You reap what you sow, and if you sow, good seed into your community, you're going to get that back, and some kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we, any of our listeners, help support you and your business or your organization right now?
If you have anything that needs to be moved, we're the company to get it done for you, for sure. We have a lot of experience with it. We're a professional moving company. We're not any type of fly-by-night. You're guaranteed to have great service one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to contact me, of course, email me through you, Grace. Everybody has your contact information, or they can go to our website, which is www.arpinamerica.com. We have a lot of great information. We also have a live chat if you got questions there. And of course, like I said, if you need to email me or call me, get a hold of you, Grace, and to give them information for sure.
Awesome. And I just have one more random question that's just popped in my head. I didn't think to ask it earlier, but when you go to a Google search, there's all these, common brands that people would think of as moving companies. Why you? Why Arpin?
Now, a lot of mainly because over time, when you're building moving crews, that's where your experience is at. If you have a new crew, they haven't developed. You become a great mover by making mistakes, right? And fixing mistakes. You become great at life by fixing mistakes, and making sure they don't happen again. Well, we got 20 years of that. we got 20 years of perfecting the move, and we've done a really good job of it. You'd be surprised. And we hire everything. We have VIP service, and we even have white glove service. We have high-end VIP clients that we move, and we even offer what they call white glove service or dust-free service. But, like I said, to develop these crews takes time and a lot of mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And so by making sure that those mistakes don't happen again, you slowly but surely remove them all out of your company until you got these highly skilled, we got employees been with the company for 20 years since inceptions. We have warehouse hands that have been with the company for at least 15 years. So they have a lot of experience with very experienced crews, very experienced and very coordinated and highly managed leadership to address any back end concerns if something didn't go right, because things happen in life, and we want you to know that we're here with you through the entire move, not just by when you call us and we quote you and we collect the funds. If there's issues, we'll get them fixed. We'll get them fixed quick for sure.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for giving us the rundown on that. It's something that I'm very curious about, is all these different business models, right? There's not a one size fits all shoe for everybody. So I always like to know what differentiates, one organization from another.
Yeah, definitely. I think our time in business, not many moving companies have been around for a couple of decades. Some of the bigger ones, of course, they're more of an acquisition company, but being small and maintaining our market share like we have, and it's grown throughout our history, it shows that what we're doing is right and it works.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking some time with us today. Anything else that you want to share? Any last thoughts?
Grace, I greatly appreciate you having me on today, and thank you for allowing me to show Arpin America to the community. I hope that somebody gives us a call so we can help them, either in the community or with the move. Either way, we're ready to go. But you're doing a terrific job with the Chamber of Commerce. I think that more and more people should join, and we should all use all of our individual capacities to work on building the community that we desire here in Farmers Branch.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Y'all, I did not pay him to say that. But thank you for your time today. Again, arpinamerica.com. If you need to get a hold of Mike directly, just reach out to me. We'll be happy to put you in touch with him. Great man, great company. Again, our first interaction with him as a chamber was, they were givers. They showed up to serve and help, from day one. So I appreciate that that's your heart. I assume that that's, the heart of many of the people that you work with in your organization. So
our privilege, for sure. Our privilege.
Good deal. Well, thank you all for joining us, and have a great day.
Thank you, dear.
Bye.